So let's talk to those individuals that are contractors, that are representatives of agencies. The first thing is the business model and what exactly is going on in their world. So maybe talk to me like I'm an internal stakeholder that isn't in this world. Describe the world for me, and then let's talk to those people that do have multiple stacks, and let's give them some really awesome information.
Well, when you never deal with software, things feel more complicated than they need to be. But fundamentally, humans have been using contractors for thousands of years. And in the normal universe, your contractor will go and solve whatever problems they need and buy whatever materials they need and then charge you time and materials to solve the problem. Because you've hired that person to take away a problem from your life. And I realized this when I was a consultant, that clients really only hire consultants to lower their anxiety around something. Mm-hmm. Whatever it is, whether you're doing something operationally for them, like you're taking care of a problem for them, or you're a management consultant and you're solving a strategic problem. At the end of the day, if their anxiety goes down, you've done a good job. If their anxiety goes up, you've done a bad job, and they'll get rid of you. And so with software, or if you're a marketing agency, even marketing, the customers hired you to generate more revenue. Like that's the problem they want, maybe in a particular channel. They don't really care what software you're using. Those are the materials. They want the problem solved. But because it's 2019, there's going to be software to do almost any kind of work. And especially internet marketing, there's tons and tons and tons of products that you would want to buy. You could be buying SEO tools. You could be buying social media monitoring, social media scheduling. You might be doing landing pages. You might do analytics. You might do all these things. But how do you actually do time and materials billing with cloud software because it's subscription-based?
Yeah.
So that is the kind of question that has driven us crazy in the SaaS partnership network, between the trade association and my own role. And I got so tired of talking about it that I started a company, AppMind, because I found a solution to it. And I'm happy to talk about that. But I think more usefully for your audience is understanding what the place of an agency is, or even internally, if it's one team to another inside a company, what your role is to support the other team, right? Mm-hmm. So there are three major places where me as a client would come to an agency to look for help, right? It's either buying the software, onboarding the software, or executing using the software. And all of this serves a general problem, some objective overall, some business objective. Mm-hmm. But those are what you would do. So with buying, each one of these has opportunities to create value and do things with your time and expertise, right? You're not just literally just going to the shelf and buying stuff. I don't care if my plumber buys a gasket. It's not the gasket I care about, right? The value is that he knows what to do with the gasket, right, to fix my sink. In fact, he knows that is a gasket I need and the right one, and he knows where to get it, and he just takes care of it for me, right? And so same thing. So if you are an agency, clients will often come to you, what should I even do, right? If you don't know, you're going to do the research. You might use tools like G2 Crowd or Sifter or Airstack, right? Or just Googling probably, or asking your friends. That's what they're coming to. You're an expert. You'll be able to evaluate this and this. You'll end up making a recommendation. And typically in most universes, except for cloud software, you would actually purchase it for them. But this is the problem that AppMind is trying to solve, is fixing that problem. Once you've acquired the software, there's a lot of value for the agency. In fact, the most value, in my opinion, is the onboarding side, which is the setup of the software, negotiating with the vendor too, configuring it, integrating it with the rest of the system. There's a lot of integration work, which is extremely valuable because no software is an island. It always has to work with a whole bunch of other systems and processes, and training staff, right? Because software is, as nice as UX would be, there's still training to be involved to fit it into the processes of the organization. And that, in my opinion, is the most lucrative because it's the most, like from 0 to 60 value, like there's a lot of value in creating just by onboarding the right software in the right way, and a lot of money to be made, in my opinion. And then the last thing is operating. So you might be doing, if as a marketer, you might be running their social media campaigns month on month, or you might be running PPC, managing their PPC campaigns month over month. Operating the actual business process means you're operating the software that underlies that process is also extremely valuable. A retainer-based business, it's great. And then there's a maintenance component too, because software has problems. People, even adding, removing staff, or keeping up with security issues, or billing changes, or whatever's going on. There's some level of basic IT, even if you're not an IT company, right, that you have to keep up with what's going on with the software. A lot of problems for clients is that they don't want to add more IT burden, either because they don't have IT or they don't want to bother to ask their IT, because as soon as IT gets involved, it becomes like a nightmare. As an agency, it's a great opportunity for you to take over some of the IT management even if you don't consider yourself an IT firm. I mean, even like IT manager of SEMrush or Buffer, all these changes that they might be making. I mean, MailChimp and Shopify, that whole story, you'd have to keep up on top of that. That's a place for you to continue creating value.